Welcome to PJ's Kitchen. My name is Peter James from peterjamesx.com with the Babylon Report. This evening we are looking at the subject of clean and unclean food. It is often asked by people who come into touch with us for the first time, what can I eat? This is one of the three major questions that we are faced with. People ask us about circumcision or Sabbath observance, and there's really four. And the fourth one is forsaking the assembling of ourselves together. But tonight we're just dealing simply with the question of food. As far as I know, no one has any real problem with the matter of eating fruit and vegetables. But the problem arises when we start looking at the matter of meat. Now, with most subjects, you can generally go to Genesis, the book of Genesis, to start any subject. And similarly, you can conclude by going to the book of Revelation, the conclusion of the Bible. And tonight there's no exception. We'll start in the book of Genesis. If we go to Genesis, in chapter 1, we will see first of all that the word meat does not necessarily mean the flesh of animals as we tend to think of it today. God made the man and his wife, and he made all the animals, and then in verse 29 he says, "And behold, I have given you," he's speaking to Adam and Eve, "every herb bearing seed which is upon the face of all the earth, and every tree in the which is the fruit of a tree yielding seed, to you it shall be for meat." So in the beginning, before the fall, men were fruit and vegetable eaters. In verse 30 it says, "And to every beast of the air, and to every fowl of the air, and to everything that creepeth upon the earth, wherein there is life, I have given every green herb for meat." And it was so. Therefore, that verse is telling us quite clearly that at this time of the Garden of Eden, cats were not catching rats and birds. The lions were not chasing down and killing lambs and deers. It says, "To every fowl of the air, and to everything that creepeth upon the earth, wherein there is life, I have given every green herb for meat." And it was so. So that's where we're starting now. The basic argument centers around the fact, as in so many issues, that we are under the new covenant, we are under grace, and we no longer have to worry about anything in the Old Covenant, which means the Old Testament. The argument continues that Christ fulfilled everything, so we don't have to get bogged down with the Old Testament. And in any case, Christ declared that all meats were clean. Well, we will see that he did no such thing. No such thing at all. The other thing that people go to is Acts chapter 10 and says, well, the vision of Peter with regard to Cornelius shows that all things have been made clean and edible. So are we just being picky? But if you bought a car for several £1,000s, I expect you would like to know what you had to do to maintain the car. You wouldn't want to be putting water where the petrol should go. You know, orange juice might be quite good for you, but you wouldn't actually want to go and fill up your tank with orange juice. Well, not yet anyway. So the eternal God who made us had to tell us what was good and what was not good for food. Adam would not have known that when he was made, nor would Eve. They had to be told. So where do we first come across the matter of clean and unclean meats? You know, with many things, the detractors of the Old Testament say, oh, it's all to do with the Jews. The Sabbath is to do with the Jews. Clean and unclean meat is to do with the Jews. Well, it's not true. The Sabbath was found in Genesis. Genesis chapter 2, it's quite clear. Well, the first time we come across what we should eat, we read in Genesis chapter 1. After the fall, things changed. And God allowed man to eat certain meat. But that meat, now we are talking about the flesh of animals, was designed as food in the first place. Well, let us, we mentioned the vision of Peter, so let us go straight to the vision of Peter, because that is one of the main scriptures that is used to say that we can eat anything. But the Apostle Peter was being shown not that we could eat everything, but that God was not a respecter of people. And salvation was not just for Jews, but it was also for Gentiles, who were regarded by the, what we now refer to as Zionist Jews. They refer to all of us, rather, as goyim, less than animals, utter filth. And in fact, we should be destroyed. If you would like to see exactly what the Talmud says about non-Jews, and I say this with respect to Jews, because this has nothing to do with the normal Jews. These are people who claim they are Jews but are not Jews. You will see it in our document, the synagogue of Satan. And I assure you, you need to have a very strong stomach to read the quotes from the Talmud. You see, before we go any further, we can say that from Genesis 1 right up to Revelation 22, the physiology of no animal, bird or fish was changed from the way it was created in Genesis 1.